Hi, today I want to talk to you about trade-offs. Every leader has to make them. You only have a set number of hours, resources, time, focus, energy. We do not work in an unlimited environment. At least most of us don't. So we make trade-offs. We say yes to things, which means saying no to things. We emphasize some things over others, and vice versa, depending on a lot of factors. And 4 trade-offs for leaders really stand out to me, and I'd like to talk to you about them in this series. And these 4, I think, are common. They are things we have to navigate, and each of us has to balance the tension in them. So here's the 4 trade-offs. Mission versus money. Where do we focus? About the mission or about making sure we have profit or we're raising money or whatever? But it's a mission-money tension that needs to be not just navigated, but sometimes emphasized one way or the other. How do we know? Second, are we building friendships or building our network? And the answer is yes. We're building both. But what needs to be emphasized, and what's the trade-off for emphasizing one of these over the other at a given time or whatever? Third, the pace of change versus the rate of change. The pace of change is one thing, the rate is different. They're similar, but they're different. And how we manage it is really important, and where we put our energy. And last, leading with vision versus leading with passion. Both are called for, but there's a trade-off to leaning into one over the other. So I'd like to start with the first one in this 4-part series on mission and money and how we decide to make trade-offs there. So let me kind of set a little kind of comparison sheet that might be helpful. Mission orientation is focused on outcomes. Money orientation is focused on outflows. What are we spending? Maybe what are we earning? But it's about the flow of resources in and out, less so about, what are the outcomes? Is it working? Are we accomplishing the mission? So in mission-minded, particularly nonprofit organizations, have heavy mission orientation. A lot of people come on board because of the mission. And they kind of think sometimes, the money's important, but it's not the whole thing. But those of us who lead these know that without money, it's hard to do mission. So focusing on these is really important, getting it clear on whether this is a season to focus on outcomes. Are we clear on the what and the why of the mission? Or on where's the money going and how are we managing that? We may need to put some extra light and energy on that. And we only have so much energy. We only have so much time. So where do we want to allocate some hours more to one or to the other? Second is mission is people oriented. In other words, are we reaching the people we want to reach? Are we connecting with them? Are we serving them? If you're on the money side of things, that matters also, but it's more about, I'll say, staffing. In other words, the people we have. Can we afford them? Can we pay them? Do we need more of them? So the focus may tend to, we care about people, but we care first about our own people and how we resource them and how we build what we're building here before we can take our next step toward mission. So the allocation of money toward appropriate staffing, well paid or supported or benefits or whatever, you got to think about those things. And is this a season where we have to look really closely at the flow of cash and money more than the outcomes, so to speak, ultimately of what we're trying to do together, or vice versa? Another tension sort of here between the mission money sort of trade-off that you have to make is between process and managing the P&L. Managing process is linked to the mission. Are we doing the right things to get to the right destination? Are we using the training we need to use? Are we building curriculum, whatever that might look like? Is it the right kind of, a strategy that we're putting together? It's kind of process kinds of things that have to happen to get the mission done. Whereas the other side, so to speak, is a P&L question. Are we focused on profit loss? Truly, like where are we making our money and how? So it's great that we have a great process. Is it financially sustainable? Can we actually do this? Can we fund it? Let's look at the P&L. So it's a dance back and forth between trading off how much time and energy and effort do we need to put on shoring this up so we can do that, or getting clarity around the processes and kind of, we'll get the money later, we'll find a way, but let's get clear about what we're delivering. Another one that is a trade-off, I think, is around how strong is our programs versus how strong is our balance sheet. And again, goes to the financial stability. Is this a season to get the balance sheet stronger? Should we sell something? Should we buy something? Should we liquidate this or that? Should we look at a better sense of our fund accounting process, and are we really thinking about wisely stewarding the money we have in our nonprofit? Do we need to raise money? That kind of thing versus, what is the strength of the program? That's the mission-minded people. How strong is this deliverable? Is it something that can be measured? Is it successful? So again, a trade-off, so to speak, is putting energy and time and resources into the one over the other. Another one is, are we building the brand or building the team? Building the team in the mission, right? We have the right people to get the job done. It's more inward looking. Do we have the people we need to get us to where we want to go to accomplish what we need to accomplish? Versus, we're challenged with, are we building the brand? So this goes down to things like marketing and the people that are on the sales or promotional side of what we do, the outward looking side. So if you're on the mission money, tension, so to speak, or balance, you're looking at what's our brand look like out there? Are people being attracted to it? Is it serving? Is it appropriately articulated? Is it clear? And over here, you're saying, do we have the right people on the mission side to get it done? Finally, on the mission, people are looking at growth. In other words, personal growth in the target audience, or transformation or change, maybe even in themselves on the team. Are we growing? Are we developing? When we have to focus on the money side, we're focused on success. Are we ultimately making money so that we can fund the things we need to, so we can pay the people we need to pay? So these are sort of trade-offs that have to be made. The giving up sometimes of one for a season to get the other done, or the reallocation of something on one side of this to get the other done, because we don't have unlimited resources. You don't have unlimited people. You don't have unlimited time. So pull back a little bit and look at these categories again and check yourself as you look at mission money. Both important. Can't have one without the other. The question is, what's the trade-off when you emphasize one over the other? What do you gain and what do you lose?